Okay, let's jump right in. We all think of reading as a great escape, right? A way to learn something new or just get entertained. But what if the books on your shelf have a power you haven't even tapped into yet? A power not just to inform, but to actually heal. You know that feeling when you're so deep in a book that a character's win feels like your win? Or their sadness, well, it makes your own chest feel a little tight? That feeling, that really powerful, almost secret connection, that's exactly where we're starting today. And it's not a coincidence, it's the first step in a really profound process. Believe it or not, there's a name for this. It's called bibliotherapy. Now, I know it sounds a little clinical, but it's really more of an art. It's about using stories, novels, poems, you name it, as a mirror to explore our own inner worlds, to figure out our messy emotions, and ultimately to get a whole new perspective on ourselves and our lives. So how does this actually work? Well, it's not some kind of magic. It's a process, a journey really that happens in three pretty distinct and powerful steps. We're going to walk through each one so you can see exactly how a simple story can become this incredible tool for personal growth. It all starts with that feeling, that moment when a story stops being just words on a page and suddenly feels personal. That connection is the front door to this whole therapeutic experience. The real magic of bibliotherapy is all about this one basic human thing. We see ourselves in other people's stories. When we recognize our own hopes, our own struggles, even our own flaws in a character, that story becomes a kind of mirror. It lets us look at our own lives from a fresh and kind of safer distance. Okay, so let's get into the first official step of this journey. This is where we move past just casual reading. This is about actively looking for your own reflection, about finding that mirror in the story. So the technical term for this is identification. This is the absolute key. It's the bridge that connects your world to the world inside the book. It's that spark where you think, wow, I know exactly how that feels. And it can actually happen in a couple different ways. So this connection can happen in two really interesting ways. First, there's projection. That's when you take your feelings and you see them in a character. Like maybe you're feeling stuck in a rut and you read about someone lost in a forest and you just go, yes, that's it. That's how I feel. Then there's the flip side, introjection. This is when you see a trait you admire in a character, like their bravery or their wit, and you absorb it, thinking, I want to be more like that. Both are super powerful. Let's use a classic example to make this super clear. Think about the pilot in The Little Prince. He's crashed his plane in the middle of the desert. He's totally alone. He's trying to fix it. Now, you probably haven't crashed a plane in the Sahara, but you can project your own feeling of being stuck, maybe in a dead-end job or a tough situation, right onto him. His desert becomes a metaphor for your own, and all of a sudden, you don't feel so alone in it. Okay, so once you've made that connection, once you've identified with that character, the stage is set for the second part of the journey. And this is often the most emotional part. This step is called catharsis. It's a Greek word that basically means cleansing or purging. See, in real life, we have to bottle things up, right? We can't just burst into tears at work or yell when we're angry. But a story creates a safe container where we can finally let those feelings out. We get to experience these intense emotions through a character without any of the real-world mess. And that's the whole idea here. The story acts as a buffer. It gives you permission to feel grief or rage or just overwhelming joy, all from a manageable distance. You're feeling it with them, not just for them. And in that shared experience, man, there's such a sense of release. Let's head back to The Little Prince. Think about when he decides to leave his little planet and his beloved Rose behind to go explore. We might feel this deep, pulling sadness, and that story moment can tap directly into our own memories of goodbyes, of leaving people or places we love. By feeling sad for the Little Prince, we are, in a very safe way, feeling sad for ourselves and cleansing some of those old, stored-up emotions. So you've connected with the story, you've had an emotional release, but the journey's not over. The final step is where all that feeling turns into understanding. This is the aha moment. This is insight, the aha. You know, it's that light bulb that just flicks on over your head and suddenly things just click. It's the mental jump where you don't just feel something, you finally understand something new about yourself, about why you feel that way. It's moving from just an emotional reaction to real, honest-to-goodness self-awareness. And I mean, what better example is there than the fox's famous secret? You read that line, "What is essential is invisible to the eye." After feeling lost with the pilot and sad with the prince, this line can just hit you like a ton of bricks. The insight might suddenly be, wow, I've been so obsessed with my career, with getting the next thing, I've totally ignored the essential things, like my friends or just my own peace of mind. And that's the whole ballgame. Insight is the thing that connects the world of the book back to your actual, real life. It's what takes a passive reading experience and makes it an active catalyst for change. It gives you the clarity to see your life in a new light. And maybe, just maybe, start living it a little differently. All right, now that you get the 3 steps, identification, catharsis, and insight, how can you start using this in your own reading? It's actually a lot simpler than you might think. So how do you actually do this? Here's a quick guide. First, as you're reading, just pause and ask yourself, how is this character like me? Where do I see my own story here? Second, let yourself feel what's happening. If it's a sad scene, let yourself be sad. Don't push it away. Third, be on the lookout for that aha moment. What's a line or a scene that makes you just stop and think? And finally, connect it to your life. Ask the big question. Okay, what can I learn from this? What's the takeaway for me? So the next time you look at your bookshelf, try not to just see a bunch of stories. See it as a toolkit. Every single one of those books is a potential mirror, a safe space for your emotions, and a possible source of some incredible insight. It's a personal development kit, hiding in plain sight. Every book you own is a potential journey of self-discovery. So the only question left is, which one are you going to start next? Which story will you pick up to see what it has to teach you? Happy reading.